Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
All right. Hello, how y'all doing? Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It has been such a productive week. Man, I was in recovery last week, y'all, man. I don't know what it was that hit me, but it wasn't COVID. I can tell y'all that much. I took a test every day, and they all came back negative. So I can definitely say that. My body was just weak, you know. I had a little runny nose, man. I ain't going to say it was a cough, but my throat was definitely itching, you know. And I thought I was going to be down. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going to have me down for at least about a week. You know, and luckily it was only about a day and a half. I don't know if y'all ever seen that video with the kid in high school when he was like, they had us in the first half, but we came back and we did it, you know. So that's how I was feeling that day. First day I couldn't really move. I laid in bed and got a bunch of sleep and rest, and I think that was kind of it, which is kind of something I want to go over today too. Taking care of yourself, man. Sleep is important. And I got to stop ignoring it so much, because I think if I sleep 3 to 4 hours a day, I'll be fine. And I'm not in my early 20s no more. I'm in my early 30s now. Hello, welcome to a new game. However, let's finish talking about the week and how it's been. Of course, you know, I'd be more excited about school than my kids. And remember, you know, my daughter's first year, son's second year. But every time they come home from work, my daughter, she in kindergarten, so they ain't giving kindergarten till schoolwork. Kindergartners don't get schoolwork. They just get fun stuff to do at school, and they get sent home to show their parents. I can't tell y'all how much of a collection. It's only been about, 2 or 3 weeks of school, and I feel like I've already got a file cabinet full of stuff that Kalila has brought home from kindergarten just to show me what she's made. So, hey, great job on her imagination and creativity. I'll give her that. But I feel like I've been more excited about them when they get out of school. I'm like, hey, you know, y'all got any homework? Terrence specifically, you know, we either has to go over words or small little things. And I got to remember he's just in the first grade, because I'm like, this is all they sending you home with? Like, yeah, you could do better than that. But I'm just glad to see that they're learning in school. They've been able to play with each other at recess. You know, one thing that just reminded me about, so every week, my son has these stories, but it always seems to involve one kid named Liam, if I'm not mistaken, is the name. And so this past week, there was a day that my son went to school and my son left his wallet at home. So, you know, my son left his wallet, he left his money. He don't have any money or anything. And his friend Liam, I guess he's seen that Terrence didn't have any money, so Liam offered to buy Terrence something from the snack shop. I think that's what they call it, the snack shop or something like that. And Terrence came home and he was happy to tell me. It's so funny because when he was telling me about the fact that somebody helped him, Kalila was giving me a story of how she had a friend that didn't have no money at school, so she helped the friends out. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty dope. Come to find out, Terrence went back to school the next day. He asked me for an extra $1 so he can give it back to Liam, which I think is very respectful that my son knows to pay people what you owe them. I mean, it's just the respect, you know, on both ends. I love to see it that he's seeing the right things. And then Kalila had a note sent home with her with a couple dollars in there because she also The parents found out that she was helping out the kids, and they sent the money back because they wanted her to have the money back. So I told their mom, I said, I think we're doing a great job. I was very proud of my kids to see that, one, they have respect, and two, they have some really good friends at school, and they know how to be great friends to other people as well. The biggest thing is they know how to look out for each other, and look out for their friends. It's not about what I got, it's about sharing. I love the fact that my kids have that already. Sharing is caring, and they've got that concept down packed. So shout out to me and their mom. I think we're doing a great job raising them with hearing stories like that. So I'm just excited to see what else happens in school. Personally, I've never had a father growing up in school, so this is pretty cool for me that I get to sit here and be there every step of the way for my children while they go through school. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to see what they learn, different teaching methods or different learning methods that they have, because I know that my kids already have different learning patterns. I can tell you that just trying to do a little worksheets at home with them. So again, shout out to their parents, but shout out to my kids again for just being the great kids that they are. Other than that, it's been wonderful. I've been trying to wean Miracle to the point where I get 2 off days a week, so one of them I let her stay with me, the other one she'll go to her grandma's house, only because she's going to be starting daycare soon again, the little pre-K daycare thing, whatever that is. And I don't know how she's going to act, if she's going to think that she's going to be tied to daddy Monday through Thursday, until mommy gets off work or until daddy goes to work. So I got to get her in the habit of being able to be away from me too, and I'm not going to lie, I think me and her both have separation anxiety, but we're getting there, patience. Practice makes perfect, and being patient with that helps out too. It's not easy, but it's definitely needed to be done. Other than that, the rest of the week, it's just been kind of great. Work is just always work. I have nothing bad to say about work. I have a job to do, and I do it pretty well, or at least I like to think I do. I haven't heard any complaints from my superiors yet, so I'm good to go there. Other than that, also, just a couple things that I did want to go over too. I'm not even going to, before I finish their school. So Terrence and Kalila have what's called Spirit Week this week. So every week Terrence has had a different suit, a colored suit on to go to school because he's had to wear the same color. So yesterday the colors they wanted were all white, but there's no way I'm sending the kid to school in all white, and probably did worse by sending him to school in a yellow suit with the white button up. But I felt like, honestly, he took pretty good care of it. And when he got home, I looked at it, I observed it, and I couldn't have asked for him to take any better care of it. So shout out to him for that. Today he's doing gray and pink because it's pink today. So they got on pink. Kalila's got on all pink, and he's just got on gray and pink with his suit. So it's pretty cool. But the Spirit Week thing, he thought that I'd be coming to school with him because we dressed alike these last couple of days. But I told him I'm not going to be going to school with you. I'm just doing it that way, we can get dropped off and picked up when we look cool together, like father, like son. That's my little man. He always wants to be dressed like his dad, so I'm happy about that. But there's a couple other things other than the kids, the family, everything is great there, so thank you all for listening to that. Other than that part of the week, let's get into a couple of things that I kind of wanted to go over for myself of the week. For example, this past weekend, the reason why I was so happy to make sure I was back in full effect for that first couple of days is because I had a few weddings that I actually went and or I was actually the minister for, so Friday and Saturday, and they were character weddings, so it wasn't just a regular minister. One was Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars. I'm sure you all know who that character is. If not, look him up. You'll think it's pretty funny that I did that. I have the voice and everything. Also, Saturdays was Mars Attacks, so the Mars Ambassador. If you've ever seen the movie, it's a pretty funny movie with a lot of big wigs in there that you wouldn't have believed in. It's a very old movie, so remember that before you start seeing all these popular faces. Remember how old the movie is, and then you'll understand why they were all in it at the same time. But I did those 2 weddings this weekend, and I was happy. It was pretty fun. I'm not going to lie. It's like 20 minutes of my time to sit up there and just, give everybody give the rundown and run the wedding. I don't like to say host the wedding because I'm just the minister, but whatever you like to call it, tomato, tomato, potato, potato, Let me see. Oh, I was having a conversation about my poetry, about me writing. How much have I been writing lately? What have I been writing about lately? And how often do I complete a piece? So in order for me to maintain my word that I was given, that I gave to someone. In order for me to maintain my word, I am to try to come up with a piece once a week, and I have to share that with you all every other week. So, since I'm telling you this week, next week I should be here reciting a poem or piece that I created. I think the first one that I'm going to do that I was enticed when the conversation was brought up was about pain. So I think I'm going to get that going, and I'll have that ready by next week. So I'm pretty happy about that. We'll see what's going on. Maybe we'll do that every month and name it Quanni's Piece or something like that. We'll get it taken care of. And last but not least, y'all know football season is coming up. I believe this is the last week where there is nothing, and then next week football season starts. To all you Cowboys fans, I'm sorry that y'all are here. To all you Saints fans, I don't know why y'all were raised that way. I'm not really too much of talking crap about many other teams, but those two teams there, they just really grind my gears. So I got to talk my little shit when I can, especially because the Saints are our rivals. I'm a Falcons fan, so Saints are the rivals. Cowboys, it's not really the team themselves, even though y'all are a letdown. It's more so about the obnoxious fans that can't understand that you need actual proof that you've done something or that you're doing something to continue showboating the way they do. The way Cowboys fans celebrate and talk and cheer and rah-rah-ha, you make it think that, or they would make you think they've won the Super Bowl for the last 10 years running. And, man, it's been double that, I believe, since you've even seen it. So, who am I to talk, though? I'm just a Falcons fan who's been embarrassed by every Super Bowl we've been in. We've lost. But, hey, we've been in a recent one, though. It's not more recent than you Cowboys fans. Anyway, besides that, let's get into the topics for today. Thank you all for letting me kind of go off on my little rant there for the first little 15, 20 minutes of the show. The first thing I do want to talk about, actually, is therapy. A lot of people are still in the process, are still in the mindset that therapy is just like, it's not needed, it's uncalled for, it's pointless. It's just like everyone that says therapy will not work for them are the main ones that have not tried therapy. And my saying to that is, I used to be there. I'm not telling y'all that y'all are wrong to feel that way. I'm telling you to try to explore your options better. I say that because when I first went to therapy, I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I didn't go in there thinking, I didn't go in there with the mindset of knowing to open up and express myself and to talk. I didn't have all of those abilities just quite yet, I was lost and confused. But I expected when I went into a therapist's office to just sit on the couch and they're going to fix me. We've all seen TV and movies, and all of these commercials and ads. We've seen it to where it looks like the therapist just knows what to do. They fix you and you walk out a better person. And me going to therapy for the first time, that's how I viewed it. That I was just going in there to lay down on the couch and they were going to just know everything about me already, like they've had a transcript of my life in every single detail about it. And I was wrong. So when I was going there, I felt like, well, this isn't working. And as much blame as I wanted to throw out, the reason why I wasn't working was because of me, honestly. I sat there and I didn't want to open up about what was going on. I didn't want to express myself. I didn't want to say why I was feeling this way, what made me feel this way, where it came from, why it's still there, why I can't let it go, why I'm, or if I'm trying to let it go. I couldn't express none of that. I was in there and I was just knowing just the ABCs, not knowing that you can put those letters in the sentences, in the words and then form sentences with those words. So, of course, it was rough at first. It was kind of crazy, kind of wild, because I don't really know what to say or how to say it. But I started somewhere by just talking about something and how that bothered me. After about a year or two, I went to, honestly, before therapy, I did anger management when I was younger. When I was about 18, I had a real bad temper. That family, again, I'm telling y'all, man, had a real easy way of pressing that button. It was crazy because it was always only them that can press that button and piss me off. So I felt anger management was a great asset or a great tool to add to my tool belt at that age, because I felt like, well, now you're 18, 19 years old. You can go to jail for some of this stuff. You need to really pay attention and think about what you do. You can't just sweep it under the rug as a juvenile. And I made myself go and roll into anger management. And the one thing I love about anger management is it really taught me to at least locate where my anger is coming from. The first time around, it showed me how to locate where my anger is really coming from. That's why I've told you guys about how anger is never really your first emotion. When I went to anger management as a young adult, it taught me that anger is always your second emotion. It's triggered by one of three things. It's either hurt from the past, frustration of the present, or fear of the future. So hurt from the past, if I was to barely take your skin and pinch it, you wouldn't be mad at me pinching it. You would get mad over the fact that someone pinched you a lot harder back in your past, and it hurt like hell. I just reminded you of the pain that you went through with them in that situation. So that's why you got angry with me. Or frustration from the present. Let's say you're around a group of 10 people, and 8 out of the 10 people are calling your name trying to get you to do something, whether it's your mom calling you to do this, or your spouse asking you to do this, your kids asking you to do that, your neighbor asking you to do this. Everyone's trying to bombard you with all of this stuff, and you're just like, what? What the fuck do y'all want? You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be, however you deal with that. But you're angry about it, and it's frustration from the present, frustration from everyone being around you, not giving you a chance to respond. And fear of the future is real easy and simple. Let's say if you are in a fight or flight moment, and what I mean by that is if you are in a situation where it's either kill or be killed, you're not getting angry to kill somebody because you're actually angry. You're scared of dying. Your fear of death is what turns your anger up to do what you needed to do to kill that other person, or whatever the case may need it to be. So when I really learned that my anger is really just a bunch of reminders of the fucked up shit I went through as a kid and as a teen, it was a lot better for me to control it. It was a lot better for me to control it. For example, over these past few weeks, we had that incident with going to the skating ring with my brother, or for my brother's celebration for his anniversary of death. There was a point where I was only there for about 20 minutes, and I got angry. I got super angry over what was being talked about and what was said. And because of how angry I got, I almost let my anger get the best of me. I really did. I was ready to fight. I was ready to really throw hands. And I realized that my kids was there. And I had to initially calm myself down because I just remember that the only reason I'm really upset is because I feel like they playing with my brother's name. I feel like they're not respecting him the way he should be respected. And his family here, they should be standing up, and they're not. So I let other people, trigger my anger for no reason. And as soon as I realized what was going on, I just packed up and left. That's it. I didn't make it a big deal. I packed up and left simply to avoid any further complications, because my anger is not going to be the reason they get a win. It's never going to be a reason why they get a win. And I think a lot of the things going on with today's society, especially with men, black men specifically with us, we don't know how to direct that anger. We don't. And we think the best way to direct it is yelling at somebody or throwing it off on somebody that didn't cause it, or some men are violent where they're abusive, and that's physically or mentally, whatever the case may be. But I do think that not in just relationships, I think it affects us all as parents. I really think that I'm not the best parent out there, and I have learned from my mistakes that I've made with my children. Like I had to realize that sometimes a whooping is not going to solve everything. You know what I mean? It doesn't fix every single situation, every single problem, and me yelling is not going to fix or resolve every single problem. I've also learned that giving kids their way, I've never been the one to give them their way. So I've always felt like I'm not going to give you your way just to get you to do what you should be doing. I feel like if you're doing what you should be doing, you'll be rewarded with something you want. That's what I've always stood by. But I've made mistakes down the road as a parent with my kids. And I respect the fact that I can admit that and acknowledge the fact that I've changed it. I'm doing better from it. But I think sometimes we let life, we let stress, we let problems, we let everything kind of get to us. And everyone thinks that, when we don't, as black men especially, when we don't go to therapy, they think that we're just a huge bomb of anger waiting to explode. They do. I cannot remind you, I cannot tell you guys how often I get the craziest looks because customers cannot get me to explode. I'm like, okay, that's cool. People in general, they can't get me to explode. I guarantee, even with what happened a few weeks ago, my family expected me to really go off the ropes. They really wanted me to just go off the ropes, but I didn't even do it. I'm just showing everybody, change is inevitable. Growth is inevitable. You have to want to be willing to grow. Without that growth, you want to be stagnant in the same place. You're going to be having the same fucking problems, same situations, the same bad cycles and patterns of life that you don't want to have in the first place. So, act how you want to act, choose how you want to act, but at the end of the day, you should be wanting to grow as a person. Again, my first time going to therapy, it wasn't the prettiest picture. It wasn't the best thing that I had going on, but therapy has really helped me. Like, it's really helped me. How do I say this? I've gotten to the point where I've always believed in second chances. Hell, I've always believed in fifth chances and seventh chances. But therapy has helped me realize that I should no longer have to keep giving someone chance after chance after chance. I now believe in that saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Oh wait, fool me once, shame on me. Fool you twice, shame on you. One of those, vice versa. However, though, the third one is fool me 3 times. I like that saying. Fool me 3 times, fuck the peace sign. Simple as that. Because I am not going to continuously to give anyone a chance anymore after I've sat down a clear game plan on what I will and will not accept, right? So therapy has helped me realize that my boundaries are okay for me to stand on. It's okay for me to stand firm and say, hey, I'm okay with this as long as this is part of it, or I'm okay with this as long as this is not part of it. I don't have to tiptoe around my own boundaries to please nobody else, because they wouldn't want me tiptoeing around theirs. Therapy has came to help me appreciate myself as a person. Like, I've learned to appreciate the fact that I can be more accountable than I ever was in my life. That I can sit up here and sit down and listen to people with the intent to understand instead of the intent to reply. Because I used to take everything so personal whenever somebody says something. You can get in a room with 50 women and 10 men, and they will say, or no, let's even give it 1,000 men and to 50 women, and all 50 of those women will say every man cheats, and I used to blow up over that. It's like, I'm sorry, every man that you used to fuck with cheats. That's not all of us. And I would get in such a big attitude about it that I would take it so personal that I wouldn't want to hear anything else she's saying, because I've already felt like that your first comment was void when you made the false statement that every man cheats, when I know I don't. So if that's what you got to fight the argument off of, I don't want to hear it. And I would completely tune out everything else that was being said. I wouldn't sit there and want to hear nothing, because she probably do clear it up later on and say, every man I've been with has cheated. And then we have a conversation to go off of. But because I used to be so stubborn, and I heard that one thing that gave me the option to reply instead of to understand, it wouldn't get anywhere. Today's time, you got me over having conversations about shit I never thought I would. Like, for example, you want to talk about eating ass, I'm going to shut it down right then and there. Cut it out, not doing it, call it a day. Now, today's time, it's like, okay, it's a conversation. You want to know how I feel about it? You want to know what I think? I want to know what you think. I want to know how you feel about it. It's a conversation to be had. But I'm not going to yuck your yum. I'm not going to shoot you down over something you like and I may not. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that. I mean, I'm definitely used to just say, fuck those conversations. I do not want to have them. But it is what it is. But it also has helped me, therapy has also helped me trust someone. Well, let's put it like this. I have a hard time trusting people now because of patterns that people have in life. But therapy has taught me to not so much worry about trusting people, but to just have faith that they'll do the right thing. I cannot throw an action onto somebody that they have not committed. So me saying that, I have a hard time trusting them when they haven't done anything to hurt me is kind of weird. It's kind of wild. I haven't even given them a chance to, but I said I don't trust them. I'm always big on that. Trust is always something I give until you break it. But lately it was one of those things where I don't want to give it until you earn it. And it shouldn't be like that, but I now have a new outlook to see that have faith in them doing the right thing. And then if they don't, that's when you can worry about the trust conversation. You know what I mean? But I ain't gotta just sit up there and automatically assume you can't be trusted, because that's wrong. It was wrong of me to ever think that. And I mean, it's just how it was. It also made me realize, you know, like, I hate that therapy helped you admit the hard truths. I hate it and I love it, because part of it is like you don't want to understand what's going on, but the other part is you have to admit it. You know, like, therapy also tells me, like, I would do anything to make my family work. I would. I have no bad blood about saying that. I have no offense to say that and speak it out loud, but I would do anything to make my family work. And it's crazy, but that's something that going through therapy, it helps you realize, it helps you understand. You get to learn yourself better. You get to learn how to approach situations in a better way. You get to learn how to take now granted, I've always said this, sometimes I skip the high road when I'm lost. We all have setbacks. But therapy also helps you kind of know when to take that high road, or when it's okay to skip the high road, because, you know, you just got to let somebody know they got you fucked up. But I don't think I would have been able to control my emotions as much if not it had been for therapy. I mean, granted, I've been through life, and life is a bitch. Life is, man. But life is going to be life. Nobody said life was fair. Nobody said, well, if you think about it, everyone says life is unfair. So I think that does make life fair. But nobody said life was going to be easy. And I love the fact that therapy helped me put my life in a better direction. You know, it helped me approach my feelings in a better way. It helped me approach my loved ones in a calmer state, in a better environment, better opportunities. It has helped me achieve goals that I never thought possible, I never thought would be there. And most importantly, it's made me a better man every single day. It's made me such a great man. I always thought I was the best man I could be then, but look at me now. That's all I can say is look at me now. I think I'm such a wonderful human being. I think I'm such a great man, along with life, my kids, you know, loved ones, close friends, everything that has always made me there. But I think therapy was the key to putting all those pieces together. Because, man, I'm telling you, when you have a lost mind and it just drives itself and you never know what destination it's going to, whew. And you can't just jump out the car because it's moving too fast. But just imagine that every single day of your life. It's crazy. It's wild. It's very, very wild. So I'm glad that therapy actually helped me figure out a part of myself I never even knew was there. You know, I'm still learning me, but I'm improving me at the same time. I'm improving my actions. I'm improving my responses. And above all, you know, I respect everything, you know, a lot more. A lot more. I've always been big on respect, and therapy has shown me why I should be big on respect. So I'm happy to say that for sure. And then everyone tell you that, well, you know, you can't really, you can grow with or without therapy. I just found it a lot easier to grow after therapy. I'm going to be honest. I've learned that my mistakes are not losses. They are lessons that I had to learn, that I had to go through. So for next time I can do better or be better in that situation. But for anybody to say that your faults or your mistakes, you know, you have to go through those to learn. When we were babies, we didn't just get up and walk perfectly fine. We fell down more times than we can count. But sooner or later we got it down. And then we learned how to run. And then we learned how to ride a bike. And then we learned how to ride a scooter. And then we learned how to drive. You see what I'm saying? Some of us have learned how to fly planes and fly helicopters and drive boats and yachts and all kind of stuff there. So don't just think that the end point is to walk, because you can do so much more. You can do so much more. All right, now that I want to wrap that up. Oh, you know what? This is a big one, because I told myself I would admit this on camera. I have always had this feeling as to, lately, for the past 6 to 8 months, I've had this procrastination in me that's taken over on a whole new level. And I never understood where the procrastination comes from. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. Let's push that back till today or tomorrow. But therapy, you know what I mean? And basically what's going on is the reason that the procrastination is there is because for some reason I feel like a failure. I feel like I failed with, as a parent. I don't know why I feel that way, because I spend so much time with my kids and we have so much fun. I feel like I failed, as a partner, just in life as a man. I just feel like a failure. And that is taken such a toll on me that I have to get it out of my mind, because the more I think about it, the more it weighs on me, the more it brings me down, the more it makes me feel like I don't want to do anything. The more I'm just laying in bed sitting there like, what I got to do today? And I just have to snap back into reality. You know what I mean? I just have to snap back to actual real time to see that none of those things could be anywhere close to true. It's hard to realize that, man, but it was crazy to sit up there and just get that slap in the face like that about me and how my life is going, because I'm like, I know on one hand I am pretty I got high standards, but man, that's probably why I can't really complain, because I know on one end I'm just in my head more than anything. That's what it really is. All right. Next thing I want to talk about actually is, this one is going to be good. I might get a few head sways and head turns and a lot of knees and no's, but I do want to talk about this because, God, it is going to be wild. Dating. We have all of these conversations about dating and what should be going on in a dating world and how things should happen, how things should go, and you have different kind of scenarios like the single mother versus the single father and the first date and all of that good stuff. So I'll jump into a few of them. I don't want to talk about it a lot because I think I talk a lot about dating, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just go over a brief conversation about it today. So for one, this first date thing, I've heard many people talk about the first date situation, how it's supposed to go. The man should pay for everything. The man should pick up the woman. The man should do all this and do all of that. You know what I say? I think that it should depend on the person. You have, let me give my personal dating stories. Maybe I can better explain what I'm trying to say. I'm the man that feels like if I invite you out on a date, I should pick up the check, right? I should take you out to eat or take you to see a movie. I should pick you up, pay for the bill, take you back home, make sure you get home safe, call it a day. That's the kind of man I am. But I've had women where, they don't really want all of that. They want to meet you there. They want to split the bill, or they want to pay for it, or they kind of want to see how the dinner goes and go from there. But I say that because me as a man I'm stuck to tradition. But I see that there are women that are not like that don't want traditional ways. There are some women that want you to pick them up and take them out and pay for everything, and but the way that they go about it, it's like they're using you, And I think we all can tell the difference between a woman that's using us and a woman that's interested. Because if you ask me where we going out to eat, and I'm like, money's kind of tight, but I wanted to take you to Applebee's, and she's still excited to go with me, I know you're interested. I mean, I said Applebee's or TGI, and you're still interested. You don't care. You just want to go out to eat with me. But another woman would be like, Applebee's, that's all you're going to take me? Is that cheap place, or that's all? Oh, so you just wanted a good meal out of me, is what that looks like. So I think as men, we know when we are running into those kind of women. But I think some of us are so afraid of, how do I say this, messing up, you choose to turn into a yes man for the night. And what I mean by that is you choose to agree to every single thing, even if it puts you in a bad state. For example, if I tell you that I want to take you to Applebee's because I'm on a tight budget, and you hit me back with you want to go to what's that, the Geisha House or something, or Benihana's. Let's do something that's kind of up there in price. Benihana's. Why do we got to go to Benihana's if I'm tight on money? Some of y'all will sit there and be like, all right, cool, let's do it. Excuse me, sorry. After you spend about $200, you on the phone the next day with your phone company trying to extend your phone bill. The power company wanting to extend the power bill and hoping you got enough time for that 7-day notice on the door to get another check to pay the rest of your rent. Whatever the case may be. I don't feel like it's safe to put yourself in a bad position just because you want the date to go well. Because I think if anybody that's genuinely interested in you, it's not about the money you bring or what you got going on. It's more so of how the date is going to go, y'all spending time together, and them wanting to be in your surrounding or environment. So all of that extra stuff of girls getting mad about where you taking them or when you taking them, I don't want to hear it. I've seen women where you can invite them to a park and do a picnic, and they will be just as happy as if you took them to fucking the Sugar Factory or one of these high-ass steakhouses here in town. So I don't believe in that, oh, you cheap because you took me there. No, she's not interested in you, my guy, and you need to find somebody that is. You do. Now, besides all of that with the first date, however it goes, whether you want to pay, whether she pays, whether y'all go Dutch, that's completely up to the two that's on the date. Simple as that. If the man has an issue with the fact that he don't want to pay for the whole meal, then I think, here it is. I think regardless of the fact of a woman being invited out on a date, I think you should have some money on you just to be safe. Because you never know what's going to happen with that date, right? What happens if you come and you only brought your phone and your ID because you felt like you didn't need to pay for nothing, but turns out the man is a complete creep and you need to either get away home or you need to get an Uber or a cab or anything like that, but you ain't got no wallet, no nothing. You got to pay for your food, you ain't got nothing. Now you're going to feel more inclined to give this man whatever he wants just for him to pay for the date. I think that's a sign of manipulation. In my eyes, but who am I to be said? Who am I to be told? But either way it goes, I think women should always come with a backup plan of their own money or funds just to be safe, because that man is not obligated to pay every single bill. One thing men are bringing up in an argument is women fall for equality, and this is what equality looks like. And I get it. I get it. If you want to be taken out, I want to get to know you and spend time with you, which means sometimes I may not want to pay the whole bill. Sometimes I want us to go Dutch, because I want to make sure that we even have a connection before I'm just in here wasting money. And I don't want to say wasting it like you, just a waste of money, but if me and you are not going to be doing anything together, meaning building a relationship or building a connection, then I think my funds should go towards investing into my future where that will be happening. Shoot me if you must, but I don't feel bad about that. I just honestly feel like some things are better left said than unsaid, and that's one of them. Also, all of that, something has to happen on the first night. I really wish that we as men can live the life that Usher talked about in Trading Places. I really do. I want somebody to pull up on me, open my door, and take me out, to take me to the mall and take me on a shopping spree. I want a woman to undress me at the end of the night, and force me to the bed. I want all of that good stuff. But unfortunately, this is not a music video or a song. This is life, so it's not going to always happen like that. But at the end of the day, I don't expect nothing at the end of the night anyway. I know sex leads to emotions. It leads to complications. So if it's the first date, I'm not really looking forward to go there anyway. I mean, if it goes there, we must have one hell of a time, because it's been a while since I gave it up on the first date. I ain't gonna lie. It's been a while. And we must have really had a connection for me to give it up on the first night. So I'll say that. Another thing, though, is the honesty portion of it. None of y'all want to be honest with each other no more. Everybody want to lie and complicate things, whether it's from you talking about the fact that you have somebody else on the side you're dealing with, or you want a committed relationship. Because honestly, ladies, y'all put some of these men in bad situations by letting them think that y'all are single when y'all either have whole relationships or worse, husbands that y'all deal with. And I used to always be against that whole breaking up happy homes thing until I was the one in the situation, and I didn't get spared. So I agree with that whole statement. Like, when it was me in that situation, nobody spared me, so why would I spare the next man? I understand. I mean, I get it. I'm not telling everybody to go do that, but now being in that situation, it's got a lot more meaning to me. It hits home now. You gotta laugh at my pain, don't you? Oh my God, that's too funny. But yeah, we're kind of like giving these men the wrong impressions. I tell people all the time, like, be honest with me. You never know what I'll agree to if you don't be honest with me and tell me. You never know what I'll accept. I always said it before. I think I should have won the Side Nigga Awards from 2013 all the way to 2021. Just to be honest, I just feel like shit at that point. Actually, we'll take it back to 2010 all the way to 2021. I just feel like, I always felt like it was a relationship or it was serious, but I was a side piece. That was crazy. It was weird, because I was like, damn. No, I mean, a lot of shit made sense afterwards. It really did. A lot of things made sense, but I was like, damn, I used to be the best side nigga ever. I didn't ask questions. I didn't blow up phones. I didn't do none of that, because I just felt like I had faith in motherfuckers. I had trust. I felt like that I didn't have to worry about it because they was doing the same thing I was doing, being faithful. Well, lo and behold, that was not the case, ladies and gentlemen. Motherfuckers was not being faithful. Now that I think about it, goddamn, everybody done cheated on me in my life. That's crazy. But you know what? They have all came back crawling to daddy. By daddy, I mean me. Because they understand. They know they lost something good. They lost something great. I'm something to brag about. And I have no problem admitting that. No problem admitting that. But you know, it is what it is. This one right here is probably going to hurt some feelings. But I don't mean it to hurt no feelings. I just want to clear the air on some things, okay? When it comes to dating and single mothers, and I knew I was going to get it on that one. Yeah, single mothers. So that is a big topic for dating with men, is single mothers. Ladies, a lot of the time you all believe that men choose to not date you just because you have a kid. But I can guarantee you right now, it's not the kid that's the issue. What the issue is discipline and respect. A lot of you women choose to be single mothers, whether it's from keeping the child away from the parent or from the other parent, or it's because you've seen that, you know, woo-woo got 8 other kids and he don't pay attention to none of them, and you thought your 9th kid would be the one he paid attention to, which I say you choose to be a single mother in that point. Whatever the situation may be, it's never about the kid. The biggest issue is the fact that your child needs a father figure. And some of you single mothers have father figures already, so this is not to you. This is just the majority of the ones that don't, right? You want a man to be there for you and be there with you, yet you don't want him to be a father to your child or children. It goes back to that saying how mothers treat their sons like kings and they treat their daughters like competitors, like y'all are competing with each other. I feel like that, in a lack of a better term for me to say it, I like the way they say it, but I like to say it like this. Y'all like to treat y'all sons like the men who left y'all. They can do no wrong and nobody can tell them anything. You have these men that are great father figures. They are willing to put up with anything they need to put up with. They're willing to go the extra mile, go the distance, and they get shut down with the simple fact of, well, that's not your kid anyway. Whether it's coming down to discipline or coming down to setting boundaries or setting rules, these men are being held liable to take care of your child without the full responsibilities of being the other parent. Now, I'm not saying if it's a guy you've known for 4 months or 6 months to allow him anything like that, but you women are seeing these men for years at a time and telling them they have no say-so over a child that they bonded with from day one. I think it's unfair to these men to have to sit up there and deal with these hostile situations of, well, damned if I do, damned if I don't. If I step up to try to be a father because I see this needs help or this needs change or a little alteration, I'm going to be deemed as a bad guy, as a bad person, all because I'm trying to be a parent to a child that I also love. That's crazy. So, excuse me. A lot of these men are just giving up because they feel like there's no benefit to them there. They get all of these ties with these kids, and the minute you want to up and leave, they no longer have a relationship. I don't know if you know how that feels, but I think that will feel worse to have a kid put into your life and then snatched away because you and the mother stop getting along or not cool anymore. Woo! I don't know what's worse. I'm just being honest. As a parent, I would hate for my kid to be played with like that. So I can only imagine being a step parent. You have to wonder every single day if that child is going to be taken away from you. That bond you have built, built so strong, you worked so hard at, could be taken away over the fact that y'all got into a simple argument. So, again, ladies, it's not the kid in itself. It's not the child. It's just the fact that you all have the idea that you're in a relationship. It's your household. It's both of you household, but the child only belongs to you. Now, if you're going off of technicalities, you're right. That child do only belong to you. But if you're also going off of technicalities, that man is probably paying bills in the home for that child, putting food on the table for that child, putting clothes on that child's back, shoes on that child's feet, so on and so forth. Giving that child time, attention, everything that child needs, love, everything. And yet all y'all want to worry about is the fact that a DNA test shows this child belongs to me biologically. No. We've seen other men go through it. We've seen men deal with it. We've seen men, it's like their hearts have been ripped from their chests with shit like that. Seriously. And it's such a pattern now that a lot of men are just like, it's not worth it anymore. You can take those kids away from me as much as you like and whenever you like, and I just got to suck it up and deal with it. And that's true. Some of them don't want to suck it up and deal with it. I'm not mad at them for it. I wouldn't want to either. It's not my place to have to just suck it up and deal with it. But to each his own. I just feel like when it comes to the dating world, when you want to date a single parent in general, I feel like the respect has to be there for both ends. You have to respect them enough to be there and respect them enough to let them handle their duties. Because there's no way if for some reason I had to get a stepmom for my kids, I wouldn't let her do their hair because I felt like that's something only their mama should do. I'm sorry. If you are here to help me and I'm not great at doing hair and you better than I am, I'm going to want you to do it because I feel like that's a better position for my children. It's not about me. It's about my children. But anyway, who am I? I'm just a man here with a plan of my own that I've been following from day one. And it changes all the time because I grow every single day. And I'm happy to say that. Last thing I want to leave off with real quick. I kind of got off on that dating one. It kind of just grinds my gears sometimes because people take that shit and they just never take it seriously. But remember, to me, it's always about the principle. I don't care how heavy the situation, or I don't care how heavy or light. I don't care how light the situation may be. The principle will always remain heavy. Simple as that. It will always remain heavy. I don't care about the situation. It's going to be the principle of every single thing because the principle is what matters. But to leave y'all off on something is, what are some of the rudest, cruelest, or meanest comments you've ever said to an ex or somebody during a breakup or during a fight? And I've had a few, man, whether I said, you better be quiet before I really go fuck your friends, or you know what? No, I don't want to talk about it. I'm an asshole. I'm an EOA, equal opportunity asshole. Everybody can get it. You know what I mean? And damn, now that I think about some of the shit I said, if you're hearing this and I've said some fucked up shit to you before that's made you want to kill me during an argument or a breakup, live with it, because I really don't give a fuck. You deserve that shit. It is what it is. Yeah. See, y'all thought I was going to say some other forgiving shit. No, fuck you and go to hell. It is what it is. Other than that, though, man, just remember, always be willing to grow. Always be willing to grow. Always be willing to change. Don't forget that therapy is going to help you become a person that you need to be, not that you want to be. I can't really say too much else about it. And as far as dating goes, if y'all got a problem with dating, stop dating and work on yourself. I kid you not. Be the best feeling ever. It has been the best feeling ever. Because when you sit up there and you look at you and you work on you, man, all that other shit don't matter. All that shit in the background, on the sides, all the noise, all the complaints, that shit do not matter. I promise you'll come out better than you went in. I guarantee it. Other than that, though, y'all can definitely catch me again here next week. on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM. I will be here every Wednesday at 4 p.m. I don't know if y'all, remember that the time change on my show. It used to be 5, now it's 4. Definitely appreciate y'all for listening. Shout out to y'all for that. And you can catch me again in 7 days like Craig David. No pun intended. No, but seriously though, if you want to follow me, go ahead and check out the Facebook pages and at Mark Quan Thomas or Quan Facebook Joe Thomas. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter at Quanni702 and Juss Quanni. Also for TikTok it's Juss Quanni and Juss Quanni23. Instagram is also Juss Quanni or Choose Your Character, and that's spelled with a CHOOZE, not SE. So Choose Your Character, something you can find me at. I actually just booked another appointment for a birthday party for September 9th. So don't forget, you can always book a birthday event with me or any kind of event. You want to get married? I'm your guy. You want to have a birthday party? You need a character? I'm your guy. Need an event? You need a host? I am your guy. All right. So, anyways, I'll catch y'all again next week on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM, with now over 4 million documented subscribers and listeners. I'll catch y'all next week. Peace, love, and hair grease.